Moonletter Astrological Podcast. New Moon in Aries, 17th of April 2026. There's a real pile-up in Aries at the time of the new moon. There are Neptune, Mercury, Mars and Saturn in a tight stellium. Then up the other end of Aries, there are the Sun and Moon, closely conjunct to the Centaur Chiron. Aries is a cardinal fire sign, the first sign in the zodiac, the initiator, the leader, the pioneer. At its best, Aries is dynamic and fearless. It will boldly go where no one has gone before. At its worst, it is impulsive and impatient, with a me-first attitude, and lacks consideration for others. But what do we make of such a combination of planets in this sign? When faced with such a complex pattern, I find the best way to analyze the pattern is to read from the planet in the setup that is closest to the Sun, in this case Mercury, the communicator. Mercury is related to the Egyptian god Thoth, the inventor of language and the alphabet, and the patron of the mathematical arts. Mercury in Aries doesn't muck about. It's quick thinking and always has the quick riposte in any argument. So for our purposes, we can read Mercury as the leader of the pack. Mercury's communication skills are backed by Mars in its own sign, arguing to win. It's also close to Neptune, astrological ruler of the cosmic ocean. Mercury-Neptune aspects take us away from our individual thoughts into consciousness as a universal field. Here our thoughts are merely resonant points in a universal field, part of the noosphere, the collective mind where we are in harmony or not, according to our astrological disposition. Once considered a theoretical concept or a psychic phenomenon, collective consciousness now exists in reality through the instantaneous communication and miscommunication available through the Internet, and especially through social media, with its echo chambers, its confirmation bias, and its groupthink. Mars as part of the mix would tend to heat things up, leading to arguments and conflict. But fortunately, at the new moon, Mars is under the control of Saturn. Saturn acts as a control rod in the process, stopping the whole thing from going exponential and blowing up. Saturn slows things down, invites critical thinking, and places limits. Then at the other end of Aries, there are the Sun and Moon, backed by the Centaur Chiron. Chiron's agenda in Aries is to do with a wound to the sense of identity. Aries represents the moment when the child says, "I am." Psychologist Jacques Lacan describes this as the mirror phase, when the child sees itself in a mirror and can recognize itself as an individual. Chiron, close to the Sun and Moon in Aries, asks us to step through the mirror to see who we really are. In other words, Chiron's role in Aries is the initiator into selfhood. It asks us to make a stand for who we are as an individual. Such a grouping in Aries would be significant in any year. Here, more so, as we are in the year of the fire horse. According to Chinese astrology, the energy of this year is described as adventurous, bold, high-spirited, and volatile. But it can lack perseverance and forget to plan. In Western astrology, Aries is balanced by the sign of Libra, looking to maintain harmony. Libra refuses to be rushed and takes time to make decisions, as it needs to balance all the factors in a situation. The key word here is diplomacy, the polar opposite of Aries' shoot first and ask questions later. Capricorn could respond to Aries' energy by demanding structure. Aries may experience this as unnecessary bureaucracy and a frustrating delay. But if it can work within the existing legal frameworks and rules of engagement, Aries will have a better chance of achieving its goals. The sign of Cancer is affected by so many planets in Aries. Aries' sometimes cavalier attitude towards feelings can lead Cancer to double its defences, to protect itself, and to look after family. The other fire signs, Leo and Sagittarius, will also be affected by the focus of energy in Aries. Leo is loyal and will support Aries come what may, but can easily fall into a gung-ho attitude, while Sagittarius will be looking to justify Aries' actions in the sense of finding reasons and justifications. Full moon in Scorpio, 1st of May 2026. Full moon on May Day, also known as Beltane. Traditionally, this was a Celtic festival, falling halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, marking the beginning of summer, a time when cattle were moved to summer pastures. This was also considered a time when the veil between the worlds was thin, and the connection with the spirit realms was stronger. This year, this is boosted by the effect of the full moon in Scorpio, where the moon is fully illumined by the sun in Taurus. While Taurus is known for being a time to reconnect with the earth, Scorpio moons are known for being times to become aware of the power games and the hidden agendas. While the sun and moon have both moved on, the rest of the chart is very similar to the chart of the last new moon, with 4 planets plus the centaur Chiron in Aries. The other change is Uranus having moved into Gemini, heading towards a meeting with the dwarf planet Sedna on the 24th of May. Uranus is the planet of prediction, and its influence is notoriously unpredictable. It tends to flip things over and bring in something new and unexpected. What we can say is that Gemini is a mutable sign that deals with making connections. So, to put it very simply, Uranus in the sign of Gemini is going to speed things up and is going to be about making new connections. But I'm going out on a limb here to make a couple of wild prognostications regarding technology. Firstly, that artificial intelligence could hit the buffers in many ways. Basically, AI just recycles the past based on the expectation that current trends will continue. That's a Saturnian process with nothing new added. My other guess is that renewable energy will move forward, giving the increasing uncertainty, dire straits, facing global oil supply. Uranus has been in the Earth sign Taurus for the past 7 years, dealing with technology based on physical matter, for example, the oil that requires extracting and transporting, while Gemini is an air sign, dealing more with elements like wind and sun. But as I said, Uranus is essentially unpredictable and disruptive, so the next 7 years of Uranus in Gemini should tell. And for more astrological and spiritual musings, check out moonletter.co.uk.